I'm excited to dive into some fascinating tales from the internet's most infamous community, where the absurd, the ridiculous, and the downright infuriating all come together in a hilarious display of human nature. As I read through these stories, you'll get to experience the full gamut of emotions and reactions, from outrage to empathy, as we explore what makes us tick, or not. Am I the butthole for, kinda, yelling at my grandma to protect my mom? My grandma is now 78 years old. She asked everyone, my family, to have dinner with her and my aunt's family. Things were not that harsh until I saw my grandma, yell at my mom when she fed my grandpa quite too much. It's quite understandable since she's pretty tired. But if I were in my mom's shoes, I could not take that it's too negative. I did chat a bit with my grandma after dinner. I told her that it was too heavy to say so. And she said it's a regular mom and daughter convo. But after helping my grandma with the dishes and playing with my grandpa for a while, when it was time to leave, my grandma took the boiled pork out of the fridge and told my mom to take that back home as she didn't want to eat it. My mom got frustrated and threw it out, like baseball-ish. Then they fought, and I shouted, "Grandma, I wanted to protect my mom, even though her action was false and inappropriate." Then my grandma started pulling out the convo I had with her earlier, telling me that she loved me. And I yelled at her, because I shouted. She thought that I had the intention to yell at her, bashing her, saying I'm a disgrace. And the previous convo was I yelled at her, in my grandma's opinion, which I don't. I talked to her in my usual tone. The action that I'm quite concerned is my own actions towards my grandma and my mom, which is 1. Am I the butthole for shouting at my grandma like that, based on the whole situation? 2. Am I the butthole for telling my grandma to not say so to my mom? Thank you for your time. And now for the next story. Am I the butthole for giving my boyfriend the silent treatment for the joke he made about my sister's postpartum body? I have been dating Ryan for 5 months. Ryan isn't my usual type of guy, has more of a crude sense of humor. He can be hilarious at times, and others I have to tell him he took the joke too far. My older sister just had a baby, and she is 3 months postpartum. I was showing Ryan some of our family photos on my phone when we came across a picture of my sister before she was pregnant. My sister has always been the naturally slim and athletic type. Ryan looked at the picture and said, "That is your sister." Oh, she really blew up. He then started laughing. I was not amused. I told him that was a shitty thing to say and you don't comment on women's bodies after they have just given birth. He said he was just kidding around, and that me and my sister are both beautiful. I left his place and said I did not feel like talking. Ryan has been texting me, but I have not been responding. I am still pretty pissed at his comment. He is texting me saying I am being childish for ignoring him. And now for the next story. Am I the butthole for not walking my daughter's friend home? My daughter, Rowan, 11, recently hosted her very first sleepover. She invited her best friend, Amanda, almost 11, who lives just across the street and 2 houses down from us. They did all the classic sleepover activities: pizza, popcorn, a movie, face masks, and nail polish. Everything was going perfectly until around 11 p.m., when Rowan came into our bedroom to let me know Amanda was homesick and wanted to go home. I went to check on Amanda, and while she assured me she was having fun, she really wanted her mom. Fair enough. I texted her mom, Susan, to let her know what was happening, and she said it was fine for Amanda to come home. So Amanda packed up her things, and I walked her to the porch. From there, I watched her walk the short distance to her house and go inside safely before heading back inside myself. The next day I ran into Susan while she was out walking in the neighborhood. I asked how Amanda was doing, and well, Susan was furious. Apparently, Amanda had been upset about leaving early, but what really got Susan's blood boiling was that I didn't walk her to the door. She berated me for letting her child walk home alone, at night, in the cold, with the potential of God knows what happening to her. For context, we live in a quiet cul-de-sac in a safe neighborhood. I stood on the porch the entire time and watched Amanda walk into her house before going inside. Amanda didn't seem scared or hesitant, and she never asked me to walk with her. To be honest, It didn't even occur to me that this would be an issue when I was a kid. I would walk all over by myself. Sure, I know times have changed, but I genuinely thought this was fine. Susan didn't see it that way. She's still furious, and has been telling neighbors I put Amanda in danger. Despite my apologies to both her and Amanda, she's banned the girls from playing together. Now I'm left wondering, was I wrong not to walk Amanda to her front door? Am I the butthole? Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. Not the butthole. Susan is having a hard time letting her daughter become independent, and that's probably why Amanda got homesick and wanted to leave early in the first place. It's a pattern of fear treachery between mother and daughter, where the overprotective parent makes the kid clingy and scared. Susan's overblown reaction to the walk home is just one more way of her telling herself and her daughter that the world is not safe for her daughter without her in it, aka making herself, the parent, feel like the indispensable savior. This narrative needs a villain, and you have become that villain. The thing to do now is let it blow over, and hopefully she'll relax, or someone else will tell her she's overreacting, and she'll eventually be able to hear it. It sucks most for the girl's friendship, and for Amanda in life more generally. She's going to have to assert herself at some point in that relationship. As for the neighbor's possible judgment towards you, just be firm that you did the right, responsible thing. And eventually, they will probably see this side of Susan for themselves too. Yeah, and most likely Susan expressed all of her feelings to Amanda. No one walked you home? You poor thing, you must have been so scared anything could have happened to you. And bingo bango, now Amanda is afraid to leave the house after dark. Bingo bango, baby! Not the butthole. If anything, she should have just come over and fetched her herself. The mom could have come over, talked to her kid, and maybe she would have changed her mind and stayed. Exactly. And now for the next story. Am I the butthole? Navy showers at parents' house. Am I the asshole? Navy shower edition. I, 33 female, am married to my husband, 42 male. We have 2 young boys under 5 and live out of state from my parents. It's about a 3-hour drive to their house, and we visit fairly often. They have a larger home in a beautiful neighborhood, and they have very well-paying jobs. Since we have young kids, we often stay for the whole weekend. My dad, 58 male, is ex-military and grew up taking Navy showers, as he calls them. My grandfather always made my dad and his brothers, as well as anyone else who stayed at their house, take them as well. It's essentially a regular shower, except you turn the water off when you're soaping yourself up and shampooing your hair. So you'll turn the water on to start the shower, then turn the water off to soap up and shampoo your hair, and then turn the water back on to rinse off. My grandfather always said it saved tons of water and was efficient. Growing up, I always thought it was ridiculous, because it just meant you were standing there freezing while the water was off for half your shower. My dad always rolled his eyes over it too. Just this past weekend though, he told my husband and I that we needed to start taking Navy showers when we visited. He said my husband takes too long of a shower while he's there, and it's wasting water, so he wants us both to do them. He and my mom both shower that way every day because he believes it saves water and is better for their septic system. It should be noted that my husband is not taking long, luxurious showers for fun. He is balding and shaves his head in the shower every morning to prevent stubble. His showers are roughly 20 minutes long, and again, it's because he has to shave his head. Anyway, my dad told us this and we both politely said okay. However, later in the day he brought it up again, and I told him I thought it was a little ridiculous to stand in a freezing shower without water just to save at most 2 minutes worth of water. Not to mention my husband would be turning the water on and off every time he needed to rinse his razor. My dad just repeated that we, but especially my husband, takes too long of a shower. He claims my husband takes 30-45 minute showers while he's there. I explained that my husband has never taken that long of a shower, and that it's a little weird to be monitoring the length of our showers. I told him that it makes us both, but especially my husband, feel awkward, and we both feel like we are being judged. He wouldn't budge, and just repeated he wanted us to shower that way, while at his house, because he believed it was better. We of course respected what he said, and did the Navy showers this weekend, but am I the butthole, or is it actually a ridiculous request? It should also be noted that we all live in the Midwest, and it was 12 degrees out this weekend with snow, and they keep their house at 67 in the winter. So standing in a shower, when you're completely wet without the water running, really sucks. My parents are well off, so it's not a money issue either. Edit. My husband and I both respect my dad a lot and will absolutely follow the baby shower rule when we are there. I'm actually very close with my dad, and he and I have always had a great relationship. Edit 2. I know 20 minutes isn't a quick shower. I take about 5-minute showers myself. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. Dad, this is how normal people shower. If you want us to visit you, we need to be able to take regular showers. We will give you $20 each time we visit to go toward your water bill. $20 is more than enough. If it's not about the money, then it's about control. I'm not a child and you will not control my showers. If I can't shower like I need to, we will not stay with you or visit you ever again. We aren't taking Navy showers. Not at your house, nor anywhere else. Wow. This is the perfect response. But you have to be willing to follow through if he doesn't back down. I'd bet anything he won't go for it. It's not about the money to him. It's about control. $20 off a water bill won't change his life. Not with the few dollars he would save by turning the water off. He's just used to getting yelled at and doing this, so he feels like everyone has to do it too. Make sure mom is present when this is said, but agreed this is a perfect response. This is exactly it. My dad was always insane about the thermostat. Admittedly, I like it much colder than most, but I would turn it down to 70 from 72 because I was sweating at night and head go insane. Mind you, my room was on a different unit than theirs, and at that point I was the only person who used that part of the house. It literally would not have impacted him in any other way. I told him I'd give him $50 a month so I could set it lower, and still not even low enough for me, and then he'd yell at me for being a spoiled brat. Still not sure how that one works out considering I was offering to pay, and no one else would have been made cold. Control freak. Like and subscribe for more awesome daily Reddit content. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos.